Hi, I'm Michael Isikoff, Chief Investigative Correspondent for Yahoo News, and here's what I'm looking for during what's turning out to be a very critical week in the Trump impeachment saga. First and foremost, we have that House vote on Thursday. This is the first time the full House will be voting to authorize a full-fledged impeachment inquiry into the president. It's likely to be a contentious debate. The outcome is pretty clear. Speaker Pelosi would not be bringing this to the floor if she didn't already have the votes. The real question is, are there any Democrats, especially in Trump-friendly districts, that don't go along? Right now, we don't know of any, but that's what I and a lot of other people will be looking for. Republicans are saying too little, too late. We've had weeks of closed-door hearings, deprived from the public. Not all House members have been able to sit in, only members of the three committees conducting the investigations. We haven't seen the transcripts of the depositions. Republicans are going to argue this should have been done, authorize the full inquiry at the beginning. There's also a question about fairness and due process for the president. The president has not been able to have had one of his lawyers there to ask questions, as had been done during the Nixon and Clinton impeachment sagas. But of course, Republican members have been present and have been able to ask their own questions. I think the reason Speaker Pelosi is calling the vote now is, first of all, she's probably begun to hear the complaints from the Republicans that the process is unfair. This is one way of addressing it. It also will further bolster the House's argument in the courts about getting access to some of those witnesses who have still not agreed to testify, particularly former National Security Advisor John Bolton and his former deputy Charles Kupperman. They have both said they cannot testify unless there's a court ruling that orders them to do so, because the White House has invoked executive privilege on their prospective testimony. I think that the Democrats in the House pretty much know where they're going. Certainly, if you listen to or watch cable TV, you got a pretty good idea of what the evidence is at this point, but they still have to make that public case for why this justifies an impeachment for the president, and that's why those upcoming public hearings are so crucial. What witnesses do they call? How many witnesses do they have? Does it build to a blockbuster day of testimony from somebody like a John Bolton, who can put the nail in the coffin for the president on the evidence relating to this? How is the public case going to be rolled out to persuade American voters that this is worth doing, impeaching the president of the United States? The timeline is going to be very interesting here. The Democrats don't want to lose the momentum they believe they've got right now, but they also don't want to rush things. So the best guess from sources close to the principals right now is that there'll be public hearings sometime before Thanksgiving, and then a full vote by the House on articles of impeachment that still have to be drafted by the House Judiciary Committee sometime before Christmas.